Dude,
Creeper
how
in
does
the
it? I always forget if it opens up and like, does it open up with people can just join when I say start?
I
Yeah.
think so. I think that's what start means.
Oh, dude. Oh,
We look like
I,
two different types of guy. We look like a bad sitcom right now. Look at you, like suit jacket, and I look
you
like
got like a heart on your pink sweater and a heart. Look at you. Look at you.
I look like a guy that sells like sugar-free lollipops that nobody wants because they're sugar-free.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
I look like a guy that sells. So basically, nobody wants to talk to you, right?
That's it. That's it. Which is all
Oh
right.
my God. Oh, dude, man. Oh, I have no idea where this hypergraph is going to go, but it's like it's so much content. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Which the fire hose, I think most folks are used to. But for those that are listening, we're working diligently behind the scenes to chunk this stuff out and be a little bit more anecdotal and piecemeal versus long form. Though I do appreciate that we have a ecosystem community that's hungry enough to fine tooth comb all this stuff, look out for those Easter eggs. And I'm sure there'll be a couple in here if I know you.
Oh,
I do, Mr. Jorgensen.
I love my Easter eggs, although I don't go searching for them on Easter. I don't know. I don't know.
Man, Easter was awesome when I was a kid. They always had like the hardcore, like whenever we did Easter egg hunts, they had like the ones that were like really hard for the older people. And then you'd look over to the like toddlers and it would just be like eggs in the field.
Yeah.
They're just running around picking them up.
Yeah. So ours growing up in Indiana was like Hunger Games, and I survived. Like at certain points, things would come out of the sky, and I'd be like, "Oh, you all are, you're gonna
Ben
get
Jorgensen has been missing 3 weeks, but don't worry, he's been under a ditch eating eggs to survive. So,
oh, man, little gassy from too many eggs. Yeah. Dude, it's like Wednesday. Wednesday is like my new Thursday. Thursday's the new Friday, I think.
I know last night, the Arizona State University presentation last night with Ryle.
Yeah, how'd it go?
It was great. Ryle and Wyatt were there. And it's funny, these students that they're just so hungry for like deep tech, they want to know about like the real hardcore stuff that, unfortunately, I guess maybe fortunately, I can't even like answer. And so having Ryle there and just hearing him talk and then Wyatt backing him up was just really fun. For those that are listening, I'm a big fan of Arizona State and how they're taking on blockchain and projects, and they've gotten involved in our ecosystem at a very deep level. And so one of the areas we want to continue to contribute to is the student organization and encouraging them to lean in and get exposed to not just Constellation, but the industry at large. So it was fun. I love students. They believe they can do anything, and that's my favorite, right?
Yeah, so what's interesting about Arizona State is it's a breeding ground for Silicon Valley tech companies, and people just don't know that. And it's because of how many students they are pushing through development programs versus like management programs at some of the Ivies. And they come out of it a little more open to opportunities versus entitlement. Yep. So I know this from like some real high ups at some funds that tell me they just go fishing there all the time to provide talent to their portfolio companies.
Well, it makes sense after seeing how they operate it. It certainly makes sense. And a big shout out to the students that came out to ETH Denver from ASU to see me talk and see me. And it's just great. So I'm really excited about that university.
You're on a roll, man. It's amazing.
Call me Butter because I'm on a roll. That's stupid.
Oh my God, that was good. Oh, shit, that's gonna make a meme right there.
I was once here. This is my last story I'll share with you. That's so stupid.
I love it.
I went, as you know, I went to this small Christian school at high school with like 16 students in my graduating class. And we had like this big play, well, big, not big at all, 1A school play. And I was one of the lead roles. And I was so bored doing it that I started wedging in my own lines. And if the theater teacher would like grab my arm behind the stage and be like, you need to pull it together, stop with this, you know. And one of my lines, because it was 10 little Indians, so I was supposed to be like forensically figuring out who killed who. And at one moment I looked at the audience and I said it, I was like, I must be butter because I'm on a roll. And he was like, this guy was pissed. That was the first time I ever used that line, and it wasn't popular then, and it shouldn't be popular now. But anyway.
Dude, that's funny. I didn't know that. I was a theater kid growing up. I did. Yeah. I was like Aladdin, and I was like Bert from Mary Poppins, and I was in show choir. I did like, all these different shows. God, and I had to get out of that. But I don't know.
Well, who's ready for some more theater? It's time for the State of the
Union.
All
right. Oh yeah, here we go. 5 after the hour. We've got about 270 people that joined today.
And that's how many stars you have. That's great.
Dude, it's so many. Okay, everybody. That's a little banter from yours truly, the Bens. Hopefully you don't have the Bens, because that is a very bad thing. So anyways, I'm really excited about today's State of the Union, State of the Ecosystem. God, State of the Union. What interesting timing that we had a State of the Union from the U.S. president yesterday. My heart goes out to really everybody in Ukraine, but also everybody in Europe that deals with that type of global neighborly pressure that's occurring. And it's just like, what an awful time when we all thought maybe we were going to get a break from COVID. So first, my condolences to everything going on there. But I saw a chart recently of how much money the UN has donated to services in the Ukraine versus how much crypto has, and crypto is winning. So for all those naysayers, of crypto, like take a look at how capital moves. It's very fascinating. So welcome to Constellation State of the Union. In the past, I think we started this as like a way to like realign the community. What are we in for? What's going on with our ecosystem? And it becomes a really fun time for us to explain where our thoughts have been. Yes, the Hypergraph Hour introduces new partnerships traditionally. We explain tech. We do all sorts of things. But today is really kind of a message from me, the CEO of Constellation, telling you like what's going on and what are we excited about, while also making sure to kind of inform the community that we're on track, and things that are going on behind the scenes in terms of growth and new products, but new vision alignment. And what we've been working on in the past several months at Constellation is we've been growing exponentially as a team. Not only with the acquisition really started, the acquisition that we did with Dor Technologies last year was our first kind of like amplification of our team. And we've seen, I think hiring like 5 people every other week or every week into this organization to becoming a really first-class ecosystem. And the entire space has changed. And with that, I think it's really important that Constellation evolves our messaging to be a leader in this space and continue to shine as a leader and flex our muscles in becoming a world-class ecosystem. And so today I'm gonna kick off really with realigning the community, realigning the vision, which is what's going on internally at the company as we grow and we see new trends that are evolving. So the first part of this presentation, I'm going to kind of realign the Constellation community, show you how we're thinking about things, show how we express ourselves. And that really is going to kind of open up the door to what's happening over the next 6 months. So the way that we really kind of have been taking an internal reflection of who we are is we kind of look at the internet and the way that it's transformed individuals on how we communicate, how we transact, and how we express ourselves. Web 1.0, Web 2.0 really created how we all connect to one another. But Web 3 and cryptocurrency has really empowered the individual to be the internet. And I've seen some interesting diagrams, but the way that I look at this is that in Web 2.0, you've got the internet at the center, and it's pushing content to individuals. And where Web3 and cryptocurrency is kind of reimagining or redefining itself is that the individual is pushing content to applications. And we essentially, as a collective, are recreating the internet, and blockchain happens to be the infrastructure that provides that. But at the core of it, Constellation is providing an infrastructure that enables entrepreneurs to connect to conventional business and commerce to Web3. And I think this is a fascinating vision that hasn't been seen yet in any ecosystems. Even the top multi-billion dollar ecosystems are really still focusing on kind of this early generation of blockchain and DeFi that's cumbersome, it's difficult, and isn't really a welcome committee to entrepreneurs and to conventional business to tap in to the massive amounts of liquidity. Just look what happened with Ukraine and all the support that crypto is. Like, how can conventional businesses connect to this world? And at the core of Constellation focus, you've heard me say this a lot, is to tap into that $88 trillion gross national product that is looking to connect with the stakeholder economy. This concept of the stakeholder economy is something that's rapidly taking shape. And it's something I really want to highlight. So some of the trends that I really see happening, yes, Constellation, you hear us talk about it, an ecosystem of solutions, technology, community, partnerships. But really at the core of this is that Constellation is an economy. We are creating a viable economy which is an area of production that enables or just the distribution of trade. It acts on the consumption of goods and services by different agents. But what's happening in Web3 and in cryptocurrency is that we're redefining the roles and responsibilities and ownership of an economy. Traditionally, when you look at the definition of an economy, you're looking at agents that governments that enable commerce and businesses that contribute to that global gross national product. But with the stakeholder economy and Web3, we're starting to redefine what ownership is. The voice is coming through with people that own cryptocurrency. And thus, it's really making the stakeholder economy is really opening up the path for anyone to be an owner of a business, but not in the equity capacity that we've traditionally known. That shift in thinking is more about people becoming business owners through governance, through technology, through community, and marketing incentives. We're starting to redefine how we can plug in our stakeholder economy with traditional businesses. And Constellation is that infrastructure to power a Web3 economy. On the macro level, what we see at Constellation are three major trends that are occurring this year. First, as I mentioned, the stakeholder economy, which is powered by Web3 and requires cryptocurrency transactions to enable this, are turning customers of employees and employees of businesses into owners. And I think this is a very powerful statement that we're seeing as we get involved and we take a reflection on the Constellation community and your impact you've had on driving our roadmap and our narrative. And then there's an amazing opportunity that we haven't really seen kind of mass adoption of crypto. Really only 10% of people in the US alone have crypto wallets. But on the other side of the table is that we're seeing developers flocking to decentralized ecosystems at a rate of 100% growth month over month. And so there is a clear disconnect, but there's also a clear vision that there's development happening that will attract more and more users as it gets more user-friendly. And so this opportunity and this trend is going to exist where we're going to see an exponential increase in people holding crypto and accessing Web3 platforms. But the real kicker that we imagine over the next couple of years is that adoption that we've all been painting. In 2019, we thought it was going to be the year of dApps, but that didn't really work out. There weren't the dApp adoption that we thought because the technology was too cumbersome. It was too slow. It was too expensive. And so that X factor for crypto adoption is going to be around integrating automated payments and incentives that require cryptocurrency in real world businesses and entrepreneurs. And so what that means is really that we've really built this early adopter customer persona in the cryptocurrency world. But for that X factor of wallet distribution, utilization of crypto is going to require businesses, conventional businesses, to tap in and use that technology and use incentives and bounties and rethink governance in the stakeholder economy. And so our vision is really in line with that. And this is something that I really preach at the company, and how we look at the development of Web3. And with Airbnb and Uber, they created tools to unlock dormant assets. Your car sat in a driveway, your house sat vacant when you went on a trip. And really what these platforms did was connect to a network that enabled tools for people to be their own entrepreneur. How do I take these liabilities on my books and actually make money out of that? And it created this whole new mindset that really anybody could create passive income. Well, in the same way, crypto is really opening those doors around passive income opportunities. And even more so, Constellation is, we introduced the Datapreneur for new pathways to monetize their data. Once again, that unlocking of what a closed walled garden like Facebook and Google were monetizing your data, that now starts to become open. It becomes open with the mindset of the individual to go, how do I monetize my data? I see them doing it. How do I take more control and ownership? And so we're introducing that infrastructure for people to be their own entrepreneurs around data. And furthermore, we're introducing a pathway for entrepreneurs to create a stakeholder economy at scale. How do you take your business and rethink conventional business and apply it to the stakeholder economy and grow it exponentially? We see that just with companies that raise money. We're seeing real brands like Token Events, Alchemy, GeoJam. There's a myriad of other projects coming on in the next few months that are rethinking their entrepreneurial path at scale, and how to tap into the stakeholder economy to create that network effect. And our vision is coming to life. 2 years ago, we launched the Hypergraph network. And now today we're seeing about 50% of circulating supply getting locked up to represent our global footprint of 5,500 nodes. That's our pipeline for our network. That's the realized vision of support that we're seeing, and ultimately our global network footprint. And so this was a remarkable achievement to show how we create a network effect through automated rewards where people earn, where these nodes are earning DAG. Really fascinating achievement that we've done. And then in conjunction, our community reach. So once we have that network, we ultimately have to build products and services that our community can touch base with. So we've seen about 100,000 users across Discord, Telegram, Instagram has been a new focus for us where not many crypto projects have gone. The Stargazer wallet, Lattice Exchange, all providing businesses to our community to back and market. So we're really taking that vision and allowing our community to tap into that vision of real world businesses that need backing, that need marketing, that need that stakeholder economy. And we become that gateway. And simultaneously, businesses are using Lattice to provide marketing-based bounties. This is really going to come forward with our vision in the future, and that I'm going to articulate later in this presentation. But ultimately, our vision has always been around building this world-class data exchange. And what that data exchange really is and how it operates has been kind of ambiguous to a lot of people. But what we set forth and kind of setting precedent was really launching our MVP around our data mining sensor that distributes DAG as a reward for data that we broker the data sale on behalf of. So DTMs really connect the Hypergraph validator rewards and serve as a node on the network. And I think this is a very powerful vision because it starts to set precedent to that datapreneur mindset, while also connecting entrepreneurs that have data and connecting it to real world bounties and rewards. And we just happen to be the catalyst and first MVP that will open the gate for more companies to share that vision with us. So what is the competitive landscape? You know, zooming out again, there's some really interesting things that I just want to bring light. I think a lot of you know these different ecosystems, but I'm going to present like how we look at it and where we fit, because I think there's a ton of opportunity for Constellation to still be a world-class ecosystem. We already have that foundation. Our vision is slightly different. Solana has captured a huge market around creating crypto applications. They're improving transaction speeds. They're making it easier to navigate. Costs are lower. They're becoming a viable competitor to Ethereum for the applications of yesterday and today. They've done a great job. The infrastructure side, which I think is very similar to some of what we're doing, is Helium Network. You know, they've created a $3 billion ecosystem that provides an alternative to cellular networks, which real businesses use. And they are powered by hotspots with an incentivization layer, HNT, to bootstrap the network. I think that right there is really one of the most forthcoming innovations of connecting real world businesses to the power of the stakeholder economy and crypto communities. Terra Luna has created the ecosystem for DeFi applications. They've done an amazing job of creating a very powerful ecosystem that connects various applications or validators to earn passive, to provide users to earn passive income. But a lot of that still lacks, in my opinion, all of these still lack one of the main grounding principles is how do you open up to all conventional businesses, where Constellation's focus is really any business application should be able to create their own stakeholder economy. But in order to do that, they're going to need a feeless ecosystem. And so with the help of this entire community, I think we've carved ourselves out as a unique competitor and alternative to what we're seeing in today's market, where I think our time is really starting here and going forward. So now, one of the things I really kind of sat back over the past week and what I was going to present with you all is like what we've done today. In Q1, we're not even done with Q1, but I'm going to highlight what's done just in the last couple months alone has been so exciting for this entire company. It's been exciting for our community. And I thought I'd just take a moment to sit back and really take a breath, take a look and a deep breath on what we've done. A couple of days ago, we launched Mainnet 2.0 to testnet. It's deployed. There's 200 nodes in 200 additional nodes in testnet. Our L0 token standard is deployed to Mainnet 2.0 testnet. We've begun the security and auditing of our Mainnet 2.0. We're creating documentation right now around how to access state channels, how to build state channels, how to build an L0 token. This is an amazing achievement. We hit the deadline that we were aiming for, and now we're on that path to getting this pushed to live. Very exciting time. In the beginning of the year, we launched the Dor Traffic Miner as a pre-sale. So our attempt to go out and take our global footprint, create a data collective, and show how we can use the power of our network and stakeholder economy for creating and collecting data. We formed a partnership with Helium, where we're using the Helium network to transfer data over a cellular network across all of our hardware deployments, across the legacy, as well as when the actual Dor Traffic Miner ships in Q4 of this year. And I'm excited to announce that we're going to start minting rewards on March 7th for all Dor Traffic Miners. So those of you that got into the pre-sale, you're going to be delighted to know that next week we're going to be issuing rewards, and we'll be providing more details in the Telegram channel. We've also shipped out our DoD prototype. We delivered this on time, on schedule, that really focuses on the security automation, leveraging the hypergraph. An amazing achievement, especially in this time of so much uncertainty around war and conflict and creating alternative infrastructure. Our flight program cohort number 2 launches in 2 weeks from today. We had over 100 companies apply. 45 companies have been admitted. There's new use cases. There's going to be new opportunities to back really viable projects that still want that kind of incubation from Constellation. They want that education layer. Stargazer wallet. I'm also proud to announce that we have iOS and Android in beta testing. So we're currently testing to a few users right now, and this is going to be rolling out really shortly. So we'll have a mobile wallet for the Stargazer wallet. And we launched NFT support. Finally, the Lattice Launchpad. We've made updates for scalability, we've added more security, and we're adding new projects all the time. We sampled out launching the Dor Traffic Miner as a hardware pre-sale where anything can really be seen as kind of a product in this world. We have a new project right now, token events that's vying for funding. And every project that we've listed on the Launchpad has received 100% success with their fundraising goals. And by the way, our team is growing fast. And I'm proud to announce that we have onboarded the Node Garage team to be in-house to help with node management. You'll know this person as NetMet in Discord. It's a very amazing moment for us because this helps us our whole vision around everything's a node kind of come to life. And we aren't stopping. This is just the first 2 months of the year. Like, this to me is a really exciting moment because we've done so much. And I sat here with Gina from marketing going, God, did we miss anything? And I'm sure there's something we're missing around here, but these are some of the highlights that I just wanted to give huge accolades to everybody in this community and company that have supported us on this journey and been able to navigate all the crazy updates that we have coming. So now I'm gonna start to talk about what's on the horizon. I'm also very excited about this because this is the merging and unification of Lattice and Constellation over the next several months. So our focus here will be we're going to be dropping the exchange from Lattice Exchange and just calling it Lattice by Constellation. And really, this is the interface to the hypergraph. We want the community to see that this will be the interface for the hypergraph. And in Stride, we're going to be redefining the stakeholder economy and merging DeFi with conventional businesses. So like I framed in our alignment of our messaging, now comes the product suite and how we take our messaging and alignment around Web3 and the stakeholder economy with our platforms. So you're going to see a massive shift with Lattice that really kind of brings into the fold of what we're trying to accomplish by bridging conventional businesses with stakeholders. So the L0 solution, I'm gonna walk you through a little bit of my mind and kind of how I broke up the last year and what's going on with this year. I want to give you all an idea on how I see the business developing. So the L0 solution is essential to our ecosystem. And with the L0 token standard and cross-chain swaps, we're going to provide a path to create scalable businesses with crypto. So breaking this down, what does all of that mean? Well, if I look back in 2021, with the launch of our network, getting stability on our network, getting scalability underway, we launched the flight program. And the flight program was a way for us to look at what companies, how they saw the hypergraph, what use cases were there. It was a chance for us to shed our knowledge or do a knowledge transfer of all that we have at the company and bring that to businesses. And our goal really was that we wanted companies to build tokens on other networks to capture liquidity and community. We really wanted them to build that network effect for us. We had a lot of success in our phase one. We saw 35 companies come through last year. Their Alchemy, GeoJam, token events, Double Dice, all raised multiple millions of dollars. somewhere upwards of $15 to $20 million. And we have about 5 more in the hopper that are about to be launched and released. That's an incredible success rate. We also launched the soft node program to really understand what our engineering queue and what our total reach of our network could be at this early stage. So we've seen 5,500 potential nodes that will be coming onto the network over the future. We're seeing about 1 billion DAGs staked and 50 to 55% of circulating supply locked up. An amazing achievement that really understood our liquidity and where our potential was. Now, navigating into phase 2, we really wanted to make our educational track more programmatic. So we took the flight program, and in conjunction with our mainnet release, we're creating our own L0 token, where the goal of the flight program is getting them to mint their own token on our ecosystem in stride with other major ecosystems. So this would create a more immediate path for flight programs that received all the education to implement their own automated incentives in their business and leverage our feeless network. And so the Lattice will open up more solutions for projects to market their currencies and be more interoperable. So now the Lattice platform becomes the interface for all these projects to communicate with our community, create incentive structures, and rework their tokenomics. In phase 2, and then in phase 3, we focus on deployment. So as more businesses start to understand how to unlock incentives with cryptocurrency, we'll introduce cross-chain liquidity to freely trade cryptocurrencies in the L0 ecosystem. This is very exciting. So once people have minted their L0 token and they've worked with the ERC20, now we're going to enable that swapping from ERC20 to L0 to bring that liquidity into the Constellation ecosystem. So that captures liquidity from other networks. We're also going to be rolling out developer tools so that people and developers can easily integrate with our network. We're going to also be more forthcoming with the datapreneur, that individual that will have their own educational track on how to navigate Web3 businesses in our ecosystem. So this is something new. It'll be almost like an accelerator program for the individual. How do I come into the Constellation ecosystem? How do I navigate Lattice? How do I navigate all these opportunities in a very easy, user-friendly way? So in 2022, and in the coming months, we're going to be introducing the new Lattice Interface, which I call Lattice, put a node on it, because everything becomes a node in our ecosystem. This is a shift that I was trying to say on Twitter Spaces the other day, is that everything really becomes a node. Any L0 company, any data source, and liquidity pools for cross-chain swaps will be easy to back. So this concept that really anything is a node really makes the interface very simple. It allows the individual and the community to navigate net new opportunities in our ecosystem. So I think by doing this, we're going to change DeFi by making it more user-friendly while making it easy to connect with conventional businesses with Web3. Once again, that narrative of connecting conventional businesses with Web3. And I think this is going to change the entire DeFi play. You saw me highlight the Terra Luna ecosystem. The Terra Station is a really user-friendly platform. We want to make it easier. We want to make it simpler. And we want to expand the opportunity to delegate to different validators, where our validators are nodes, it's data sources, it's L0 projects, it's staking. It's a whole management platform around your reward structure. And that management platform kind of looks something like this, where you can see the Dor Traffic Miner at the bottom, you can see your different soft nodes, you can keep track of all your different rewards. And when the Dor Traffic Miner has an increase in rewards, it'll show who's supplying those rewards, who are we selling the data behind. You own the data and you have access to it and get rewards. This is a very fascinating vision for the datapreneur. This will allow the datapreneur to manage everything across what we're doing while discovering new projects that come into our ecosystem. So once again, redefining that stakeholder economy with rewards, bounties, and redefining the fundraise process for really any company. So I'll take a deep breath right now because I know there's a lot that that we've kind of highlighted, and we've given you a little sneak peek on what's coming behind the scenes. And I just kind of want to highlight, like, what becomes a node? What is a node? Well, really any hardware with a data source. So you think about a data source as metadata. And if you can append that metadata to a cryptocurrency bounty, now we've connected a data source to cryptocurrency bounties. That's that hybrid model of connecting both conventional businesses, the metadata that they think is valuable, and providing a reward structure that's transparent to the individual. It's also going to allow us to make liquidity pools for swapping extremely easy to navigate. We've all done kind of yield farming on Uniswap, and it can be rather cumbersome. It's still very difficult for a lot of people to navigate DeFi. We want to make it super easy to create a liquidity pool for swapping and make the reward structure and management of that in conjunction with everything else you're doing in Constellation. L1 state channels like Alchemy and GeoJam that are producing, these will become a node. They'll be able to structure their own rewards and incentives. Marketing bounties and staking programs will become a node. Like, all of these things will be a node that can produce rewards for individuals. So why is this important? Why is this so revolutionary? Well, I think it's DeFi evolved. It's a blend of DeFi and centralized finance. It's important for the datapreneur. We begin to define that datapreneur not just as a concept, but real world action items. You own your data, you get rewarded for it, you manage it. For businesses, this is really a deep dive into that hybrid of crypto versus and business. We focus and double down on businesses and entrepreneurs in the world versus doubling down on simple DeFi applications that are rather complex. Once again, painting the vision for the next 2 to 3 years with immediate action and results over the next few months. And this also is important because we've become blockchain agnostic. We can integrate with, we're integratable with any network. It doesn't just have to be with Constellation, but we can actually manage nodes for other networks. We can provide incentives and bounties for other networks to come on board. And most importantly, this is super simple. It redefines a node and makes DeFi and our network easy to navigate and have an easy interface. That's why I'm so excited about it, is because I've tested out so many things. I think we all have, and it's all over the board and very, very difficult to interface and navigate with. So I think that's going to be the way that we usher in not only the entrepreneur to build new businesses, but also the datapreneur, and really those people that are crypto curious to come into our ecosystem first. So in summary, we have a lot of ways to get activated, and ultimately we want your support for all of this. I'm proposing an idea, and I threw this out to the team earlier today, is that let's come up with new ways to engage new people. Let's make it welcomable, that welcome committee for people that want to get into crypto and see that it's easy and user-friendly. I say we even start a day where we do a monthly tip day, where we just start tipping people randomly. We have fun with the tip bot that's been created in our channel. I think that could be a fun way to invite new people and kind of open up the funnel for net new opportunities. Additionally, watch out for the Stargazer iOS. This is on the horizon to be released really, really soon. As I said, we're in beta and testing right now, and we're getting ready to launch that. I think this is going to be a really huge announcement for us and our ecosystem. And also stay tuned for the Datapreneur Academy. Once again, we're creating a new track or accelerator program for the individual that wants to navigate and learn about crypto and access our community. That's that welcome community that we're introducing. And as always, stake a node. I think we have less than a day left to stake your DAG to earn rewards. I know I have. I know a lot of people have. I think we're at over $1 billion staked. And also start to watch out for new projects for Launchpad and staking. We've really understood our pipeline and our process. We've brought in a whole team to really manage that pipeline, and we're going to start introducing a lot more opportunities. We've been kind of pacing them out at first to kind of understand the economics, understand our community, And now we're going to really start to open the floodgates for more opportunities for you to engage with. And then I'm also excited to announce that on March 4th, we're going to be doing DTM sales for DAG and LTX. More information is going to be provided tomorrow in the Telegram on how you can access that, how much DAG or LTX is going to be required for a DTM. There's going to be a limited amount available, so keep your eye out for that. And as I mentioned, DTM rewards will start on March 7th. So get ready for this. It's a lot of stuff going on. But I think this is an amazing path forward for our community that realigns us into some common goals. I'm personally very excited about the DTM. We have so many people that are selling those on our behalf to really to major institutions to create that really large data collective. And I think this is a huge opportunity for us to ask our community to support in kind of what we're doing and help us navigate this next year. So without further ado, I'm actually pretty impressed that I went through that in 40 minutes. It's a lot of content. There's a lot of stuff on our minds. And really, this is just the slim of it. And really getting you all to understand where our track is, where our vision is, and how we're connecting all the dots. I think most important is finding that common thread and narrative around this data ecosystem, around the datapreneur, around the entrepreneur, and making this so easy to navigate that nobody's attempting to tackle this today because it's cumbersome, because it's a heavy lift. But we have the team to do it, and it's just a very exciting time for all of us. So hopefully that was a no hype state of the union of everything that's going on behind the scenes.
Hey, Jorgensen, is it cool if I weigh in for a second, buddy?
Oh man, you want to have the last word? Go for it.
Hey, you usually do, but that's not the goal here, is to have the last word. I just wanted to kind of tie in a few things you mentioned there to ground it for people, because we are in the middle of working on some brand messaging shifts in the company, not because we're pivoting by any means, we're just maturing. We're really understanding where we fit in this Web3 world, right? And when I think about the metaverse and us being the welcome community for Web3, we really want to embody that. Sorry, my dogs are barking in the back, of course. Hilarious. Yes, I have dogs, everybody. But I just wanted to underpin what you were talking about, Lattice and the Lattice Launchpad. And we had set out at the beginning of last year talking about Hypercube. And that was something I was really excited about. And just so everybody knows, Hypercube is going to become the Lattice Launchpad. Those are going to merge. So all the intentions of what we see with Hypercube and that we put out there, and it's just a slight nuance in branding, is now we're going to see Lattice come more into the mothership and be that launch pad for the datapreneur to get involved in different projects, whether they're core to the Constellation ecosystem or peripheral to our partner ecosystem of other node opportunities that folks can stake and get involved in. So I just wanted to mention that. So if people are wondering, well, how does Hypercube fit in all this? Those are going to merge here together now that we've had a chance to explore some of the successes that we've seen through Lattice Launchpad. And I want to give a shout out to Fan Token, because I know that they're open right now on the Launchpad. So if anybody hasn't had a chance to check out tkevents.com, we're actively staking that, and we're going to perpetually start to expose more projects within that for these different startups and folks that are building businesses on top of us. So just adding a little clarity there. And you did a great job on this presentation, and you can see the sentiment in the chat, buddy.
Thanks. I haven't had a chance to look at the chat, so hopefully it's it's good stuff. But thanks, Diggles. Yeah, I appreciate you kind of coming to the table and telling that story. So thanks, everybody. This is your State of the Union. Hopefully this is more exciting than other State of the Unions. It's great to see you all. Thanks for showing up. All right. Have a good one.